Today is about congruent triangles. So I'm going to put on the board some important piece of information is called Cpctc. And I'll use that a lot more later. But this means corresponding and we've had that with corresponding angles, parallel lines, transversal, the two in the northeast, two in the northwest, two in the southeast, two in the southwest. But this is a little bit different, corresponding in the same, basically, location. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, so if we have this triangle A, B, C, and we slid it 4 spaces to the right, same triangle, and instead of labeling it A prime, B prime, C prime, this time we marked it D, E, F. And then we said triangle A, B, C is congruent to triangle D, E, F. Well, all of the corresponding parts of the congruent triangles are congruent. So triangles are made of parts, 3 angles and 3 sides. So each of these 3 angles match up, correspond, are congruent to each of these 3 angles. So angle A is congruent. First letter, can you figure out? Angle A is congruent to angle D. And angle B, second letter, is congruent to angle E. And then the ones not marked, angle C is congruent to angle F. So all 3 pairs of angles match up. And then all 3 sides. AB would be the same length as DE. AB, DE. The last letters, BC is congruent to EF. And then first last, AC is congruent to CDF. There's all the parts. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Now, here's the thing. If we just knew that the 3 sides matched up, that would actually be enough to tell us that all the angles would match up. And that's called side, side, side. So if we know the 3 sides match, we have enough to say that all 6 parts match. Or, so that looks like, if this side matches this side, and this side matches this side, and the angle in between the included angles, side, angle, side, matches side, angle, side, then we would know that the other pair of sides match and the other 2 angles match. Another one is side, angle, angle, which some people call it angle, angle, side. So that would look like this angle and this angle. Match this angle and this angle. Angle, angle, side. So we could do it clockwise, angle, angle, side, or counterclockwise, side, angle, angle. Okay. Those work. Another is ASA. So those would look similar. But it would be the side in between the 2 angles. A little bit different than the side that's not in between the 2 angles. And then there's the last one, HL. That's totally different. Okay, what has, instead of sides, S equals side, A equals angle, So what does H equal? Well, if you have a right triangle, then that piece that's sitting opposite the right angle, do you remember what it's called? You've heard it in other classes. It starts with an A, and H, and it's spelled hypotenuse. So if this hypotenuse is the same length as this hypotenuse, and one of the other sides, the leg, if this leg matches this leg and this hypotenuse matches this hypotenuse, then we also know that this angle matches this and this angle matches that and that side matches that side. There are two that do not work. Last time you learned about equilateral triangles. In equilateral triangles, all the angles were the same, right? How many degrees were there? Do you remember? The angles were each 60 degrees. But we never said the sides had to be a certain length. So you could have 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, or 2 inch, 2 inch, and 2 inch. And those would all have the same angles, but those are definitely not the same length. So those do not guarantee that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Another situation that does not guarantee is called SSA or ASS. No bad words in math, because if you have a side and an angle, a side and an angle, you can, using a compass, end up with this maybe however long, and it goes the other way, the same length, and those do not match. So side, angle, side cannot be used. Just those that I was showing you. These 5, side, angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle, and hypotenuse leg. Do some of the practice problems. There's a couple games. It'll get really fast for you.